Well, hello there. My name is HW.
Hey, I'm the Seuss.
Seuss, this is the sound of a very classic amplifier.
Indeed.
It has built-in reverb, tremolo. No, sorry. This is actually a much more classic version of the sound.
Very simple.
Let's hear it with the overdrive here. There it is. 57 Deluxe. 5E3. It's a classic, very classic sound. Maybe the amp I think of when I hear Tweed. It's the sound of the Eagles. It's the sound of Neil Young.
Yeah.
Hey, my. It's a great sound and amp.
Is that a Neil Young song?
It is. It's a Neil Young song.
See, I don't know.
And let's take them through clean to dirty. So this is the guitar channel,
okay,
or the this is the instrument channel,
and
a little brighter than the other channel, which we'll get to. But let's take them through clean through lead. Here's the amp clean.
Yes, dude.
That's a lot of rock. That's a lot of rock.
So good.
So rock and lead, we're using some overdrives to get us there. But if we just look at the overdrive here, obviously it's tone matched to my amp. And if we go up to the amp block here, you can see drive bright. We're using the bright channel. We can up that, and it sounds like this. Yeah, awesome. Now, cool thing about this amp. Notice on let's go to the amp block here. On overdrive, we're running about 2.9. On clean, we're actually running it higher, 3.2. Play this, and I'm going to move around this other knob, this drive normal. So it's interesting. The amp in real life does this. When you're in one input, the other knob can sort of rob signal from the drive, and the other one that does it is the tone. Like watch this. I'll up this this bright drive a little bit, and the tone I'm going to lower it as you play. Try that. It gets dark, but it also gets super clean.
Yeah, cleaner,
which is kind of weird. So it's a really it's a unique amp. It's a simple amp. There's no bass and treble on the real amp. There's just sort of like 3 gains, and one gain is also a bright gain, like the tone.
Yeah.
And the other gain at times, one of them can you can have them act as like an anti-gain.
Very interactive too.
Yeah, very very sort of interesting setup, but probably not totally intentional. Just they wired it up and that's how it worked. And
it was 1957.
Yeah, they were just trying to get by with different sort of things. So you get clean to lead, and then let's check this out. Ambient. This is what you played at the top, and I love this. Very Sunday morning. That's awesome. Here's cray delay.
It's cray.
It's crazy. It's we're running amp clean, cray delay. It's super crazy.
A little rhythm going on.
You know what I'd say about that delay?
Yeah.
More to the picture than meets the eye. Hey. That's a crazy delay.
I'm guessing Neil Young.
Also, Neil. Okay. Yeah, that was the same song.
I'm getting it.
And here's my favorite chorus in the Helix. Liquid. It's the Ampeg Liquifier. And in case people want to copy the settings, it looks like this. like that chorus a lot.
Yeah,
Here's
that sounds good.
Harm Trem sounds painful, but you'll be fine. Beautiful.
So good.
Super nice. Now,
Yeah.
this is the amp, tone matched, with a FatHead and a 545. There's other mic options for different channels. But before we get to those, let's just look at channel 2 real quick with the dual mics. And channel 2 is the microphone channel. Now, I sometimes joke that like this is bad. You know, maybe you plug a microphone and a guitar in and you got a one-man band kind of thing. The actual use was more for like if you had an instrument that didn't have electric pickups. It's 1957. Not everything's like electrified yet. Maybe you're a harmonica player. That would have been popular. But maybe you're also just a guitar player and you have an electric guitar, but maybe you've got a lap steel that doesn't have, or like a pedal, like a lap steel, like a slide guitar that doesn't have a pickup yet. You would mic it and you could run it through this.
Okay.
Anything you'd use a microphone for,
Yeah.
probably not the best application, but harmonica players loved it because they would, they liked the overdrive.
Yeah.
Most things you're miking, you don't want a ton of overdrive from the microphone and after that. So here's the darker channel, the microphone channel, and overdriven it sounds. Oh, let's take them through clean to lead. I like it. Now we're using the Diana.
Yeah.
When we go to the rock setting. But if we don't want to use that, if you just want more overdrive, you can of course come to overdrive here on the normal channel, and you could bump this up, and you get a pretty rockin' sound.
Just the amp, no pedal.
Yeah, just the amp, no pedals. Using the other gain knob, the tone
all the way up,
the tone all the way up.
Yeah, that's cool.
I dig this too because if you take like an ambient thing, it's darker, and I think that's useful just for like a vibe. Same ambient kind of effects, but with a little darker sound. Sounds like this. I mean, you could do an altar call with that too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right. It's
You could
more
do-
background music
You
for
could
sure.
do it. Yeah. You could totally do it. So,
Yeah.
like I said, this is the FatHead and the 545 tone matched to create that IR together. But what we also did was gave you IRs where one of those microphones is turned off. So if you just want to hear the FatHead, like on channel 1, and you want that real fat sound, it would sound pretty big, pretty hefty, and it would sound like this. You could totally utilize that fatness in a mix, especially when you combine it with maybe that's one guitar, and maybe you want to like gain it up, brighten it up, keep it playing a little bit there. Real fat, real big. You combine it where another guitar is playing this kind of tone, kind of same thing, but with the 545, it sounds way different.
Very different.
Very different. Same amp,
Yeah.
but very different mic setup.
Totally.
And you know, the positions are really sort of more for both mics to be on. And I say that to say, the positions of those mics are not compensating for it being the only mic. You know, it's kind of where I like them in a dual mic setup. But you could you definitely can utilize that sound if you want to be, like we talked about, behind the music. You want to be like big and kind of big. Like I personally would use this sound. If I didn't want to jump, if I'm in church and I didn't want to jump out and someone's going to talk, or there's like a soft, very thing, but I don't want a lot of treble to come up. I want to be thick. There's still high end here, of course. There's still fidelity. You can hear it. But, you know, that's where I would utilize a FatHead type thing, or just with another guitar that's thinner, pokier. Beautiful, very nice. Very like natural sound, and then of course 545. Here's a random one. Here's an M7 microphone, and you can hear how much different, even just with the ambient sound, this is. The FatHead almost masks that this is a focused sounding amp. It gives you so much more bottom end, you know.
That's the cool thing about mics is like same amp, but totally different EQ, and you know you're not having to switch amps a bunch, which is cool.
Yeah, and you know, sometimes I get things. Well, you know, I don't want the sound of the mic, or just give me like what it sounds like, you know. Or we almost like would like to believe that like a mic could capture the sound of the amp. You know, but it's really doing its own thing to the amp.
Yeah, totally.
And then everything we listen to, you know, we never listen to guitar amps unless we're in the room with them. We listen to guitar amps through microphones.
Yeah, mic'd up,
captured. So it's all like a big part of the sound, which is, you know, why it's just important. So my favorite, though, I will tell you, to me, this is kind of how I would mic a 5E3 and how I would use it. It's kind of this overdrive setting. These are designed to sort of walk up. You know, I might just put this thing straight up, and that would be my. I would try to clean it up. I'd try and do everything. See if you can clean this up a little bit. These pickups, you're playing a Sir Jam Pro with Lambertrons. I never feel like Tron style pickups are the best at. You know what I mean?
Like the dynamic range.
Yeah. Compression's a real part of their sound, which is good. But give us a little. See how you can adapt this. And that sort of thing with when you're in the analog world, you kind of have to play this amp that way. With a Helix, you get the option to
so that
kind of get more output. So that's a 5E3. It's a real classic sound. I think it sounds great. Mine's got a really great original P12, P12R. You know, it's an old Jensen, and it's a lot of the sound of the amp. Today, I think if you were gonna make this amp again, they'd probably choose something that would make it a little more well-rounded, you know, maybe a little more of a higher efficiency speaker to give it more volume, to let you play a little cleaner. But at the time, there wasn't a ton of competition in terms of like professional solutions that you could take on the road, and that was kind of the point, you know? And so this became a classic sound of rock and roll, and it's super awesome. I think the Focus sound, while you might listen to it on its own and go, oh, it kind of sounds like a smaller amp, the Focus sound really shines in a mix. So
I think they sound great.
I think it's pretty awesome. Suze, I've been HW.
I've been Suze.
Play us out, and well, I'll let you play us on I'll just surprise you. Okay, how's that?
Follow the rabbit.
How's that? We'll start here. Yeah. Bye.